Alright, so it sounds like we're finally going to be getting some much needed changes to Mayhem mode. And if you haven't noticed already, Mayhem mode has a lot of problems. And you're supposed to play Mayhem mode to get some of the better loot, but the issue is every time you spawn in, you get different modifiers, and they are completely random. Sometimes you'll be more powerful, sometimes you won't be, and it's just a really stupid experience. It's not the thing that we should be looking for in a harder difficulty. I think everything should be pretty much uniform across the board, just make the enemies harder, perhaps decrease our damage and things like that. But apparently Gearbox thinks the same thing. Today they had a stream, and one of the developers, his name is Grant Cow, he sat down with actually the voice actress for Tyrene, and they played some Borderlands, and they addressed some fan questions in the chat. One of the questions came from a guy asking if they have any plans for tweaking Mayhem modifiers to be more fun and random like Diablo mutators, rather than just damage, nerfs, and buffs. And they actually were pretty cool about it. They responded to the question. They said it was a good question, which it is, and they addressed it with this message.
Promote finding new gear and new class mods and changing your build up a little bit to kind of overcome some of the penalties. And obviously some of the penalties that we feel might be a little too rough. Bullet reflecting one of them. I know that's one that fans are not happy about. And we're probably going to make an adjustment there too.
So it looks like they're going to have a big patch coming soon, and then the same stream they talked about changes that will be coming to Fl4k, Moze, and Zane. Now all of these characters have experienced some kind of technical issues. For Zane, of course, his skills were never working right and to begin with. Fl4k has been nerfed a few times, and Moze has never been all that great as far as her skills are concerned, as far as her special abilities. So those characters will be getting some pretty big buffs in the future, it sounds like, in addition to some changes to Mayhem mode, which I think are pretty much vital. And they're talking about doing some new tweaks to Anointed weapons as well. They also talked about changes that they're making to the legendary spawn rates, and changes they might be making to weapons that might be underpowered or even a little bit overpowered. So they're going to be making some big changes soon. I think this is going to be bigger than just a simple hotfix, because in order to do all these changes across the board, they're probably going to be needing a big update of some kind, but it should be coming in the next week or two, probably before the Halloween DLC is set to drop. But I think this is really good news because, you know, in addition to a lack of really an end game, they also need to do a lot of tweaking as far as how you play and what the changes are when you play in a higher difficulty, because, you know, right now it's really too easy to go and do all these challenges and farm bosses. They need to make a difficulty that is fair, but is the same for everyone across the board, and they need to make it challenging, but not by attrition. And it seems that a lot of these modifiers in Mayhem mode are designed for added attrition, and I just don't think that's a good design. So hopefully they will figure it out, because they really need to add something to this lackluster endgame.